time to pay the piper. What piper? Yeah, so, everyone else is out saving high roll. And I forgot to enable desktop audio. Everyone's out saving high roll. And I'm just here stuck with cleanup duty. Is that the engineer from Team Fortress? Do I even have a tool that can clean paint? Is that working? I don't think that's working. What are my tools again? There's the sniffer. There's my hands. There's the mop. And that's it. Okay. Well then. Just trying to get my bearings on the map keys here. The the shortcut keys. Or I could just use the scroll wheel. Yeah, that works for me. Alright, I'm gonna be tracking blood, aren't I? Well then. So, first priority, let's find the bins. You know, the bins that we stick all the viscera in to conveniently carry it all the way to the furnace. What is this, a Terminator? A golden Terminator? Where are our rights? We'll talk. Cleanliness isn't free. That's right. It costs me. I have to do it, and then you have to pay me. Probably. I think I'm gonna pay. I don't know. Do I get paid? Well, there is the furnace itself. There's my step stool, basically. We demand rights. What about lefts? Can we have lefts too? Can I open this door? That's a cool sound, though. Kind of sounds like the Pokemon song that plays on the Pokemon Stadium in Smash Bros. Okay, well this guy's right next to the furnace, so why don't I just hawk him on in? Which one? What button was throw again? That's drop. Oh well. There we go. Ah. Get in there. It's kind of weird. I have to left click to pick things up. And then it's E to throw. I can't do E to pick up. Yeah, so I was playing Prey today. And I got kind of frustrated with it. 'Cause I don't know, it's not meshing with me. Like, I like all the things they have set up. I don't think I can read that. You know, I like the base of the game. But I don't like that it's trying to go for a survival horror angle. And it's like, oh, look at that. Oh, the enemies. Oh, you gotta avoid them because they're scary and your resources are limited. And I'm like, okay, but can you at least give me ways to get around the people? You know, get around the enemies? And like, yeah, there are non-lethal stunning methods and stuff, and you know, you can just run away. But I don't know, something about the level design and the way, you know, enemy placement. It just feels like it doesn't want me to do that. It doesn't feel like it's... Like, I know it's supposed to be designed to be able to... Can I get this stuff out of the way? Sorry, I got a little distracted because the sound it made when I ran into it at first kind of sounded like the intro drums to Rhythm Section Want Ad, and that was That was really funny to me. Oh, it's more of those. Okay. I guess I work for the people who... Jeez, chair, calm down. Apparently, my coworkers were the ones who, went berserk in this place. They didn't get enough cola, I guess. Like one thing that was really frustrating me about Prey was okay, so the regular enemies are mimics. They're little, tiny little squirmy guys that like to pretend to be objects. Which, you know, for a game that's supposed to be scaring you, yeah, that's a good idea. Oh. I wasn't expecting to get a new gun. Open up! Open up! I'm gonna have to clean all of this. This is all to me. But this map said it's gonna take 3 hours to clean, and I'm not staying here for the full 3 hours. It took me like 2 hours to clean the one that said 45 minutes. So I don't expect to get this done tonight. Okay, so the problem I have with the enemies, the little crawly, squirmy guys. Oh, I don't get to keep that? Okay. Into the furnace you go, I guess. So the problem I have with them, it's that they're small and squirmy. So, you know, they get into, you know, they you fight them. Get the furnace open. Buy cool gun thing. They're squirming. So, you know, you're fighting them and they're jumping all over the place and it's hard to hit them. And that just makes me mad. Because it's like, oh, stop squirming around. I'm wasting resources trying to shoot you. And you know, it's like, oh, we'll just avoid them. Okay, but what about when they're hiding as objects? There was a room that was a pretty big troll because I go and it's like, oh, look, it's an item. It's glowing like an item. I'm going to come over and pick it up. And then it's a mimic. It's like, okay, that's funny, but also very rude. And I don't appreciate it. Where are the buckets? Forget rights. Where are my buckets? Over here. Cool, I found them. Where are our rights? Or where are your hands will look nice in my trunk. Or heads, not hands. Clean this! I can't! Your paint! Where is your... 2? No, that's a question mark. Yeah, so the little mimics are irritating me, and then you have these big guys. I forget what they're called. Oh, right, I forgot. Once I'm done mopping, I'm gonna have to take this down to the furnace. So why don't I just take this down there anyway? No, that doesn't make sense. What would be the efficient way to do this? It's like, I guess clean the path to the furnace and then just leave the water buckets there. Yeah, let me pick up my footprints. That'll help. That way I just stop tracking footprints everywhere while I'm trying to make my way to the furnace and get rid of the dirty water. So they got these bigger guys. Phantoms, I think they're called. Which I think the game wants me to, specifically wants me to avoid. Because I think they're supposed to be people that have been overtaken by the mimics. I just tripped over that chair. Wow. And, like, some of them have names. Some of them have crewman names. So I think it's pretty clear, you know, if anything, I'm at least not supposed to kill them. But they're not easy to avoid. I mean, maybe I just need to up my stealth skills and stuff, but... And they give you this toy crossbow that's supposed to be a distraction tool. And it doesn't work. I swear, all the times I've used it, it does not lure the enemy away from me. If anything, I swear the enemies were coming to me because they knew I was making noise. They knew where the darts were coming from. I should probably clean up the objects first. I mean, I'm going to end up tracking a whole lot of footprints around, but this is what I was waiting for this whole time. Boxes. Don't think I forgot that time you dropped body parts. What a load machine. Ouch, ow. Just get out of my way, stuff. No droids! Man, they don't like robots. I like robots. You know, I'm not like that guy who runs Mos Eisley Cantina. I'd let droids come in. All my footprints. But I just found myself really frustrated with it. Like, it doesn't feel like Dishonored, where, you know, you can easily just skirt an enemy, or at least, like, knock them out or something, and avoid them that way. Or, like, climb over someone. Like those are the skills I've been prioritizing, were my mobility skills. I don't think I'm supposed to take the barrels. I've been prioritizing my mobility skills so I can easily climb over enemy encounters, but it hasn't really been giving me that opportunity. I don't want to know what's in this. Just get in the furnace. Get in the furnace. Get. Nope, not that. I was trying to rotate it. Get in the furnace. Get in the furnace. Rotate the other way. Get in there. There. I should also open this side. Okay, well, I guess this isn't supposed to be able to furnicize. Otherwise known as incinerate. I'm gonna do it anyway. Because I think I'm supposed to. Come on. Get in the furnace! Enjoy. Enjoy the furnace. And of course, I still remember, excuse me, that these baskets are still not really reliable in terms of physics. And you know, video game physics, I think, kind of always are going to have a little bit of jank to them. I don't think they're ever going to be perfect. Which, you know, that's one reason why I don't believe a Matrix will ever exist. It's like, you know, I think there will always be noticeable flaws in graphics. You know, clipping issues and, sorry, adjusting my watch there. Clipping issues and such. These legs are crazy. I'm gonna leave you there because you're being crazy. You're making things go crazy. Or was this stuck on it? Get in the bin. It's like I definitely think Prey is a good game. It's just not a game for me. Because I don't like the survival aspect. And I'm not even playing on survival mode. But like, you know, I ran out of suit, you know, armor basically, like armor in Doom. I ran out of that equivalent, and I just have not found another suit repair kit. I mean, maybe I was able to find a recipe for suit repair kits somewhere where I've already been. Because I did find the one for med kits. That's pretty cool. I like the crafting. Crafting is cool. Basically, just take a bunch of junk and you break it down to its components. You know, like biological material, metal, mineral, or synthetic, and exotic. I was trying to remember the exact word. So it's basically just 4 resources that you can get from basically anything. And you break it down, and then you build with those. As long as you got a recipe. I was pressing E. Not you two, come on. Don't be like the body bags that probably contained sharks. I'm pretty sure. Get in there! This is where it would be nice to have, like, a knife. Be able to cut them up. Make it easier to throw them in. Not in a psychotic way, like literally because the physics engine is fighting me. Because they're just so floppy and they don't want to... You know, I'm not directly controlling the body. I don't know what was so amusing about that guy just so easily going face first in there. Now, I don't like that I can't just pick this up. It has to be equipped. No. Come on. Hands. And... yeah, I have to switch to something else to throw it. It's a bullet. Yeah, I think the baskets are just supposed to be for small stuff like the bullets. Because obviously you're not going to fit bodies in there. Oh, that guy went in pretty easily. It was a robotic crash test dummy. Not another gun! There's got to be a better way to get rid of these. Oops. I hit the console button. Which is, what do you call that? It's like the apostrophe button. You know, same button that opens up the console in Skyrim. Right. 2 is hands. I would think 1 should be hands, but it's 2. So why don't I equip this gun? This gun looks neat. There's another more bullets. I'll get a basket for the bullets. Like I said, it's like, yeah, the basket's probably I meant for the bullets. Just keep taking corpses. Keep taking corpses. Keep taking corpses. Is a robot corpse still a corpse? Because, like... I mean, I would think so, because they're humanoid. If they're sentient, then they've died, and thus their body would be their corpse. But I don't know, there's just like... I'm not even sure what this button's doing. Like, that's not the throw button. That's the put down button. Oh, that is... okay. It was close enough into the furnace. Kobe! Yeah. I don't know what this is, but I feel like it should be thrown away. I can take all these signs, don't I? I'll get a bin. I'll get a bin for the signs. Yeah, I don't know, but maybe my real problem with Prey is that I know it's by the Dishonored people, so I'm comparing it to Dishonored too much, and I'm scared of there being a chaos system that they're not telling me about. Like, oh, you shouldn't have killed that many mimics. You got the bad ending. Like, I'm sure they would have told me, because Dishonored tells you in like the first levels, like, hey, you don't have to kill people. If you kill people, bad things will happen. Another gun. And a toilet. There's a toilet out here. Oh. It's heavier than I thought. And last time I played this was like around... Oh, look, here's the seat to the toilet. It was like around Christmas, I think. Sometime in December. Either a little before or a little after Christmas. So this game just makes me think of Christmas now. Even though I don't have the Santa's Rampage DLC, I'm pretty sure. Get in there. Dude. Do not close the furnace. I will take you off your hinges. And then you will be like me. Unhinged. There. I'll probably give Prey another try sometime, but like right now it's like, I don't want to. I want to kill stuff with guns. So I started downloading Borderlands 3, and then it was taking forever to download. So I'm like, okay, never mind. I'm not going to download Borderlands 3. I have that on PlayStation anyway. I just have it on PC because Epic gave it away for free. Which is funny. I think I have all three, or 3 out of the 4 Borderlands games on PC because Epic gave them all away for free at some point. But I don't have Borderlands 1 on PC. You would think that would be the one they would give away. You know, because pre-sequel is the divisive one. You would think that it'd be just the ones that everyone loves. 1, 2, and 3. Well, okay, 3 I think is pretty divisive as well. It's like, oh, it's not as well written as Borderlands 2. Okay, whatever. There are people who play Borderlands for the writing, and then there's people who play Borderlands for the guns. And I am someone who plays for the guns. Get in there. I'm someone with a hole in his heart because of Battleborn. So I play for the guns. For the cool guns that do cool things that other shooters... Well, I guess I can't say that, because, you know, shooters, especially nowadays, are trying to do pretty interesting things. Trying to be distinct and stuff. But, you know, I feel like games don't get the guns don't get as crazy as they do in Borderlands. Because that's like Borderlands' signature. And then, like, character skills and stuff. Which really is the thing where I'm like, you know, people say Borderlands and Battleborn are close. I don't buy it. I mean, I get why they say that. What is this? It's a vending machine. Vial of acid, solar flare. First aid supplies. I have no feet. I probably need one of those. I'm probably gonna patch my feet back on. Where's the key card for all these doors? I swear, aren't I supposed to, I feel like I'm supposed to go through these doors. Alright, I guess I had to go get another bin. Keep mopping up the water on the way to the furnace. Or mopping up the blood and stuff. So I stop making a mess on the way to the furnace. But I gotta get the bodies. So let me start making a trail of clean, excuse me, in terms of bodies. Like the small stuff I'll still get another bin for. Yeah, like character skills just don't feel the same in Borderlands that they do in Battleborn. I don't know, like... Whoops! Oh, now there's all this broken glass. Fun. Like, Borderlands 3, I think, is pretty close to feeling like Battleborn. And Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Especially Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, because they introduce melee weapons as a thing you can find and upgrade and stuff. I was pressing E again. It's like being able to go, you know, more ham on your melee. I was pressing E again. Stop pressing E. You've learned this lesson how many times already tonight? It's not E. Because, like, Borderlands 3 and Tiny Tina's Wonderlands both allow you to have... Well, I think it's a special thing for Wonderlands. And I know there's only 2 characters. I wasn't even looking at the door. Why do you keep closing the door? There's only 2 characters in Borderlands 3 that can do this, but the fact that you can exchange the ability to throw grenades for having a second action skill, which makes it feel a lot more like Battleborn in that case, because that was the consistent thing. That was consistent amongst all characters in Battleborn, was you had 2 skills and an ultimate. You know, it's the MOBA setup, which I really enjoyed, because it made all the characters pretty distinct, I would say. But more so because they're not just, you know, that the differences between characters was in their... Well, okay, that's a sentence that doesn't make sense, because that's a sentence that doesn't check out, because all the characters in Borderlands are also, their differences are based on their skills. But like attacks, you know, if you play Roland, you're gonna find guns. If you play Lilith, you're gonna find guns. You know what I mean? So like, no matter what, you're gonna be attacking with guns, with pistols and shotguns and sniper rifles. You're gonna have whatever you find, as opposed to Battleborn, where, like, you know, you would play characters who maybe didn't have guns at all. You know, they were entirely melee. Which I think the newer Borderlands games, you know, 3 and Wonderlands, definitely starting to get closer to, you know, having more than just like, oh, here's a gun and it shoots. Here's another gun and it shoots. And that's an exaggeration, because Borderlands guns they do get pretty crazy. One of my go-to examples was the rocket launcher I found in Borderlands 2. It was a rabbit, basically. Or it was rabbit themed. I forget what it was called. It was basically a rocket launcher, but then when it's out of rockets, when you reload, it starts to hop along the ground like a rabbit, dropping little bombs behind it until it explodes. And it's like, that's not an active function of the gun. I mean, you can activate it by just reloading early. Ew, a fleshy bump. Look at like one of the Blood Moon enemies from Terraria. But like, I like that the newer games are starting to lean more towards other effects of guns. Like in Borderlands 3 and one, I guess it's redundant to say that, because I was talking about the new games. You know, the new games have they've changed how Hyperion guns work. So I think it was in 2 and pre-sequel, the Hyperion guns, they just their accuracy went up the longer you look down their sights. Well, now in the newer games, in addition to that ability, I think, they also have shields. And then the shields themselves can start to have different effects. Like, you know, okay, so you have like the base gun, the base Hyperion gun with a shield. That, you know, it absorbs damage when you block. You know, when you look down in iron sights. But then there are like other ones that you start to find later on that have shields that can absorb ammo or reflect attacks. I think reflect attacks was a thing. Okay, and then the bins are over here. So yeah, I feel like I've cleaned up a decent path to the machines. Maybe we'll start mopping now. I think someone made popcorn. Pretty sure I smell popcorn. Yes, I'll start mopping now after I scratch my shoulder. I guess I should say I'll get back to mopping. I can't clean bullet holes, I don't think. Yeah, so first I'll mop a path to the furnace so I can take care of my buckets of water. I'm still not fully sure I'm supposed to be incinerating my buckets of water, but I can't find another way to take care of the buckets. Well, don't stand on it. I do not trust the physics. These walls look dirty, but I can't mop them. It's not cleaning them. Get out of the way. Yeah, and like I said, I love that Wonderlands. Oh, I should have moved this body first. I love that Wonderlands introduced melee weapons. That was really satisfying. I'm a little disappointed I didn't find a sword that's a reference to a Battleborn character, Galilea. Because I'm sure this is the thing they would have done, was have a sword that shoots sword beams. I'm pretty sure I never found a sword like that, but it probably it could exist, and I just never found it. Wouldn't be surprised. But there's a lot of cool stuff I've never found in a Borderlands game, just because I've never gotten lucky. Up, mop's too dirty. I should be taking the bucket with me. And I especially like that with this change to melee weapons. Yeah, it's time to take out this bucket. With the... No! Oh! I thought I knocked it over. I'll clean a path first, and then I'll take out the buckets. So I can stop leaving footprints. You know, with this change to how melee works, they've also changed the melee animations. Oh, right, to his hands. It's like, am I not pressing 2? I was. It's just the wrong button. Yeah, with a little bit more focus on melee as like as your main means of attack, if you so choose. That they've made it where you can just hold the melee button down to do an attack combo. Very much like like Battleborn. Where, you know, you held the primary attack button to do a melee combo. You know, as opposed to like in even as far as Borderlands 3, where you have to keep pressing the melee button if you want to keep meleeing, and it's like it's not a combo; it's just the same animation repeating. Because I don't think Borderlands 3 has like melee combos. I don't think you can hold the button down to continue meleeing, because again, it's Borderlands. It's supposed to be about the guns. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we get Borderlands 4 and there's no melee weapons. They don't bring back the melee weapon from melee weapon system from Wonderlands. Because, Wonderlands is specifically supposed to be like Dungeons. Oh man, I'm tracking footprints. Stop it, feet. It's supposed to be like Dungeons and Dragons, so that's hence the introduction of melee weapons, while still having a pretty heavy focus on guns, because of course, it's Borderlands. But they're going to be fantasy guns, which was pretty fun. Oh, I'm tracking purple now. Guess it's time to get another bucket, I bet. Yeah. Yeah, like there were guns where it's pretty much the in-universe, the D&D universe version of the guns that explode when you reload them. Explode like a grenade when you reload, as the description says. That instead of exploding, they turn into a minion. So you can be kind of like a summoner. What's a summoner, anyway? A guy who throws around guns, apparently. I guess I can't clean these fissures. That makes sense. So those were really fun to keep around. The ones that became summons. And then instead of grenades, you had spells, and that was also fun. Because it made it less of a grenade button, and more of like a secondary skill button. It's like I said, I find that satisfying, having 2 skills I can rely on. But I forgot to finish that train of thought. Like, something about Borderlands skills feels like they're afraid to let you use them a lot. Like, the cooldown is always like 26 seconds. It's like, come on. I want to use skills. I want to do cool things instead of strictly shooting. Like, I like shooting. I've got nothing wrong with the gunplay in Borderlands. But I would like to be able to, do cool things more often that isn't shooting. Like, one of my favorite Battleborn characters was Melka, who has, so her setup was that her primary attack was a gun, and her secondary attack was melee. Melee combo. Oh, this bucket's done. Darn. Just careful not to trip over my trail of buckets. And then her skills allowed her to move around all agile-like. Like, one of them was like a move that just launched her straight up into the air while also leaving an AoE and stuff. I forget if it was, I forget if the AoE was always like a damage over time thing, or if you had to upgrade to get the damage over time. But then her other skill was Claw Lunge, which launched you straight forward in the direction you were facing, which might not sound like a whole lot, but it can launch you, meaning it's also like a jump. So for a character who doesn't have wings, she was really mobile. In fact, I even thought that she was more mobile than the guy who actually does have wings, which is kind of ironic. Is that bucket done already? What a wimpy bucket. Let me see if that's true, if it's just a line. No, that bucket's done too. Dang. Yeah, I just want Borderlands to give you more mobility options. Like Tiny Tina's Wonderlands gave us more melee, and that was pretty cool. But now I want more mobility, because mobility is fun. And that was kind of my slight disappointment with Wonderlands, was that I don't think any of the characters really had mobility options. Like the Barbarian had a launch, a lunge kind of attack, but it wasn't like Claw Lunge. It wasn't nearly as launchy, and it was hard to aim actually. Like, it's for an auto target ability, I swear it was not very good at finding a good path to where you intend to attack. It was a little disappointing to discover that it wasn't that good. It actually kind of reminded me of a different Battleborn character's ability. This bucket's done too! Freaking buckets! At least I'm close enough to the furnace where I can start taking them out. I hope that didn't spill. Yep, there go my footprints. Actually reminded me of a different Battleborn character's ability. Atticus, who had Pounce. Which was, I would still say that ability was better than the Barbarian's lunge. Because that lunge just was not very... Like, it couldn't go up, basically. That was the problem with it. I wanted it to be able to, like... I'm like over here, and the enemy is like against that wall. I want it to be able to go like that, except, you know, whoosh. And instead, it would be like, you know, it'd be like here, and it'd be like, and it's like, dude, that's not, you're not even trying to go up. It's like Pounce was better than that because it actually had a pretty high upward arc. Yeah, I guess I'll keep taking the buckets. Wasn't sure if I wanted to start, you know, go back to clean up my footprints. And it also let you pick where you land it rather than specifically auto-targeting an enemy. I think that would have made a big difference to the Barbarian's Pounce if I could at least choose where I leap to. Okay, you get out of the way. Get out of my foot space. So I take this last bloody bucket. Yeah, they say that Gearbox isn't done with Battleborn yet, the IP, so hopefully we'll see a sequel soon. You know, it doesn't have to be the exact same game as long as it's the same characters. And hopefully, like, you know, the same gameplay, like, I don't know how many people realize this. Battleborn wasn't a hero shooter. It was a MOBA. I'd be okay if it lost its MOBA elements as long as like give me claw lunge back. Let me play as Melka and claw lunge everywhere and have fun mobility options and skills that do things other than attack. Or summon something that attacks. Like, I'm surprised I didn't find more spells in Wonderlands that weren't attacks. Like, I found one that was like, it was an AoE, but it also healed me while standing in the circle. That was like the only one of that kind I found. That was the only one that was a damage AoE that healed your allies when standing in it. Like, there were ones with vampiric effects, but that's not the same. Especially because if I were playing a multiplayer, the vampiric effects would only be healing me. These freaking buckets. Wish I could take 2 buckets down. I've just tracked so much blood that I can't clean it all up. I wonder how effective it would be if I knocked a bucket over onto the whole mess. Sorry, I had to take a drink of water while getting a bucket of water. And I'm not drinking from the bucket because this is tap water, and that's gross. I don't know if that helped. I can't throw the bucket very far. I don't think it helped. I gotta see if any of my friends own this game. But it'd be pretty cool to clean in multiplayer. Thank you. Oh, thank you. More bonuses. Alright, listen here, sloshing machine. come back for the body bits. Because there is still a lot of stuff I gotta bring down to the furnace. No wonder this place says it's gonna be 3 hours to clean. Like, all the back and forth to and from the furnace, just dragging dead bodies. You know, never mind all the mopping. Start to get my footprints here. Maybe I'm at the point where I'll start to leave less of them as I leave the area. I think that's about as much blood as my mop will soak. What? Yeah, originally, I was gonna play Metroid Dread tonight, because I know I complete that. I can beat that game pretty fast. So I figured, like, oh, let's do it in one stream. And then I remembered, oh wait, it doesn't take me 2 hours to beat it. It takes me 3. I don't know if I want to sit here for 3 hours. All this is just my footsteps. It's my footprints. I keep leaving more of them. Here we go, dropping more footprints. I also thought about just doing Sunshine again. And just, like, skipping Bianco Hills. Like, seeing if I can do it just entirely. Like, see if the game really does require you to go in there at least once. Or if it just requires a refresh of Delfino Plaza. This isn't funny anymore. I was looking at my games and I'm like, oh, there's our cleanup detail. That'll be funny. I could make the joke of like, haha, everyone's out saving Hyrule and here I am mopping the floor, ha. And then I actually start the stream and I make that joke. I'm like, doesn't feel like that was as funny as it was in my head. Not that I was busting a gut imagining doing that bit. Like, I feel like a bit like that requires more role-playing for people to really get into it. I don't know, I don't want to do role-playing streams. I'll do streams of role-playing games. But not where I pretend, you know, like, fully commit to, like, oh yes, I'm in this game. I am actually here in real life. Which I think I said that last time I played this. It's like, no, I'm gonna be real. I'm not actually mopping right now. That may blow your mind, but my hands are actually on a keyboard right now. A keyboard and mouse. Not a mop or bucket. Stop leaving footprints. Quit it. Feet? I think this time I'm going to get a bucket. Or a basket. An empty bucket. Start cleaning up all the bullets. Bullet. I guess if taking all the stuff back and forth to and from the furnace is supposed to be what makes this take 3 hours, then I guess none of these locked doors are going to open. I wonder if you could make like an action kind of deal out of something like this. You know, this cleaning premise. You know, like a Doom Eternal kind of thing. But instead of killing monsters, you know, killing demons, you're cleaning. But like maybe more, you know, still getting upgrades and stuff, like upgrades that help you clean better. Oh, that's a mob. Are you spilling more blood? I kind of lost what I was saying there about like turning this into more of an adventure kind of deal. You know, just like, you know, you clean up one area, and then like you get a key card that lets you move on. But not like, you know, not like the rest of the game doesn't open up until you finish cleaning. More just like you're cleaning, and then it's like, oh look, a key card, and then you can move on, or you can stay and clean if you want. You know, kind of like a collectathon, but instead of collecting things, you're cleaning. And maybe there could be monster fighting, and then you have to clean up the mess that the fight makes afterwards. Maybe not as tedious as like, oh, you have to clean up all the bullet casings that you dropped from firing your gun at enemies. It's like, no, you kill an enemy, and then it leaves a trail of blood, and you have to mop up the blood and throw its body in the furnace or something. Or maybe the enemies could be like entities made of goo, so that, you know, when they die, they just explode into a mess, and then you mop that up. And if I were to make a game like that, you know, if that were under my control, I would definitely make it where the mop does not need to constantly get a new bucket of water. Not like this game, because that is kind of annoying. You know, I've definitely not make someone deal with that for an entire, you know, like a adventure game. Oh, I missed some bullets. Gotta bring the basket back over. I don't know if this is reaching its physics limit, you know. Things are not happy to be in this basket all at once right now, so I ought to take this out. And it's not like my trail is particularly clean right now anyway, so if they fall out on the way there, oh well. I'll take as much as... Thanks, box. I thought they had me. That's a dumb Star Fox joke if you didn't catch it. Because box sounds like fox. And that's fun. You know what? Okay, the sign is clipping through the side of this. I'm just going to throw this one away. Enjoy. Like I was saying, it doesn't matter if it falls out on the way there, because there's other stuff to pick up. Yeah, I think I should start hauling away bodies before I mop more. Make sure I get all the bodies away so they can't keep making more blood appear. I don't know if the robot bodies can make much of a mess, but I'll take them anyway. Maybe I should prioritize the fleshy bodies, so then I can mop if the robots do indeed not make any mess. I mean, at least got the first floor clear of bodies. I don't know why that chair distracted me. Yeah, first floor, or down here is clear bodies. I don't know if that's the first floor or the basement. So it's this floor where I gotta get all the bodies away. And then hope that my dispensers don't keep dispensing body parts. See, now it makes sense that they do that, because apparently the workers are on strike, and I guess sometimes they fall in the machine and die. And get chopped up into bits. But, you know, that's just It's what you call an occupational hazard. What is this? Was there music the whole time? Sure, you can stay on. I expected that chair to go a little farther than that. It's just like when you speedrun the Forest Temple, in Ocarina of Time. You jump over the rails. I'm surprised at how much range that music player has. It's getting kind of smoky in here. Am I doing something wrong? Am I furnacing too fast? Can I open a window? I'll just keep carrying on. Carrying bodies to the furnace. Of course, I'm just making so much more of a mess. It's like I never mopped up anything to begin with. But at least, once I get all the bodies, then there should stop being puddles of blood. You know, I can start taking care of it all. I'm gonna start doing this. What was my hand doing? Here, let me get this guy. I start leaving them in a pile, so I could just keep running up and down the stairs, taking them out. I gotta scratch my face. Ah. And then I guess I can mop another path to the bucket dispenser. Try to carry the body high so it doesn't drag and start leaving more puddles of blood. See, now I'm just thinking, like, imagine if you had to do this in Dishonored. You know, you do all the cool Dishonored things, but then also you have to mop it up. You have to mop it up when you're done. Did he knock into the speaker? No, I don't know what he was knocking into. Alright, is that all the bodies? No, there's probably some in here. Yeah, there's one under the desk. You thought you could hide there? Yeah, me too, when I was playing Prey. I don't know why they didn't let me hide under most of the desks I tried to hide under. Come on, green guy. I'm gonna take a trip to the furnace. Once I get all the other bodies in the pile, take them to the furnace too. You're gonna have to wait your turn. Hey! It's a lot of blood. I still can't really tell what this says. Where is our Yorty? I don't know. See, it's weird to me that I can hear the speaker from anywhere in this building, but it's still directional. So it's like, it's louder if I look at it versus if I'm like over here. Now it's like louder in my left ear, but I can hear it anywhere, so it might as well just be playing in both ears constantly, you know? The same intensity. You know, not be locally based, be global music. I can just take a shortcut through here. Alright, that should be all the bodies. Gotta take them to the furnace. I think I liked it better when it was quiet. Stop it. I'll clean up this catastrophe scene in silence. You know, I think that is the whole joke with this game, is that, like, you know, all the cool Dishonored kind of stuff happened off screen, and then you're just left to clean it up. But I would still like a game that does both. I think that'd be kind of neat. If done right, of course. It's not just, you know, fun action and then like, oh man, now I have to clean. You know, make the cleaning fun too. Like Mario Sunshine, like that's a game about cleaning and that's fun. Let me just keep throwing them over the banister so I don't have to keep going up and down the stairs. Like this kind of saves some time. Because that's the shorter route for the bodies to go. And not having to go the long route up to come back up to get another one should make things go smoother. All this blood I'm leaving around because the bodies don't stop bleeding. I'm pretty sure when you die and then there's an open wound, you eventually stop bleeding. Wow, that guy went far. It's like, how much blood do these guys' bodies have? It's like I spilled my raspberry smoothie everywhere. Get out of the... Which body do I have? Okay, there we go. Nope, not the bullet. Don't bite the bullet. Who even bites bullets anyway? That's not how you use bullets. And I'm pretty sure if you get shot in the mouth, you're definitely not biting that bullet. That bullet is biting you. Alright, there's what, like 2 left? 3 left? 2. Cool. I can go back to mopping. And then instead of cleaning up a trail of bodies, we clean up a trail of buckets. I guess if I had multiple people, could have been, you know, people going back and forth, taking all the bodies. You know, and then we could mop faster, you know, put down multiple buckets. Multiple buckets sounds like a good idea. You know, even being alone. I'm gonna put this right in the furnace so it doesn't make more of a mess while I'm mopping. Come on, go over the rail. Ah, great, I got a splatter on the stair wall. Gonna have to get a ladder to clean that. You're like, open stairwell? I don't, okay. I guess I don't know if that's what you call it, but an open stairwell, you know, kind of deal in a house. Like, it's cool until you think about the fact that you're gonna have to clean. You're gonna have to clean up that, you know. Gonna have to try to clean the windows. Like, put up a ladder on the stairs. And then it becomes less cool. I shouldn't be cleaning in there. That's where I'm supposed to be. Or I'm supposed to be cleaning a path to the furnace. Why does it feel like the buckets last longer further away from the furnace? Maybe it's because these puddles of blood are less thick. Because they're trails of blood. As opposed to the entire lake of blood I have down by the furnace, just because that's how you get rid of all the stuff that produces blood. And all the trails I've left going back and forth. Taking the blood-producing bodies to the furnace so they stop producing blood. Oops. I feel like taking care of the buckets after I finish mopping would be faster. Or at least less tedious. All this furniture in the way is annoying. It's like the bullet casings I can deal with because I can just put those in baskets. I can't put the furniture in baskets. I don't know if I'm expected to take this stuff out and burn it. Like this? It's got the... I guess that's the cleanup detail logo. So maybe it's supposed to stay. But, you know, it's clutter. It's in the way. I would think that it's supposed to go. Broken glass is definitely supposed to go. Ow! Tripping over a file cabinet. See, it's the furniture. Get out of the way, furniture. Get out of the way. Move it. Am I able to... Can I do anything with this? Oh, right. It looks like I'm flicking blood everywhere, but it doesn't actually leave a trail. Nothing I have to clean up. I keep losing focus. It's like I want to clean everything, but I'm supposed to be cleaning a path to the furnace. So I can take care of my buckets. Take care of my Charlie buckets. At least this place is well lit. The other map I did is not at all well lit. Okay, let me carefully get these buckets out of the way. I mean, this one's still probably good for one more. But I'll get new buckets. You want to stop that? Now give me another. And you know what? How about we go for 3? 3 buckets. That's not a bucket! Thank you. Whoop, don't go back to the mop. Alright. See, mopping is just like playing Mario Sunshine, but without the platforming. Ba 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 ba. Get it? Get unbloody. Ba 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 ba. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Don't you like how I got 3 buckets and then I never brought them all over? Alright, that one's done. Go get a clean one. See, now I'll bring the other one over. When I get back to down by the furnace, I'm definitely bringing multiple buckets down. I feel like that would help tackle the footprint issue better. Now we'll get the water. All the blood on the railing because I was throwing the bodies over. Jeez. So much. So much blood. People who make these messes worry about having blood on their hands. And then I come along. I worry about having blood on my mop. And my feet. That's the real problem. So blood on your hands, that's normal. You know, you can deal with that pretty easily. But you get blood on your feet, you're leaving footprints, and that's bad. Just making more of a mess. Leave it at the top of the stairs. I don't want to risk knocking it over. Oh, okay. There's already... Or maybe that is from me throwing the bodies over, but, yeah, there's a lot of blood on the wall, so I'm gonna have to get a ladder anyway. Freaks me out a little bit when I automatically start standing on the side of the bucket like that, because then it might knock it over. That'll probably make a pretty big mess. I can reach that pretty easily. Nice. So much for needing a ladder. make sure the railing is clear. All right, time to bucket. I'll bring the bucket down with me. Still got a couple of uses left. Put it there. So now's the part where I'm starting to hit where I left the pile of bodies as I brought them to the furnace. So it should be pretty bloody. Pretty bloody what? Pretty bloody dirty, that's what. Here's the mess I made with that gun. Time to get more buckets. Better not give me more giblets. I said don't. Do not give me more giblets. Stop it. I'm trying to get work done here, dude. Freaking sloshing machine. Should probably move these buckets a little bit more out of the way, so I don't risk tipping these over again, like I just did. Making pretty good progress. I definitely want to take this one down in the furnace. This one's in the way. I just want to double check. Let me double check this. Yep, that makes a mess. Who would have thought that dumping over your dirty water bucket would get dirty water everywhere? Like I just if it doesn't feel right throwing all the buckets of water in the furnace, but there's no other way. Okay, am I done making footprints? And I'll just leave the third one on the stairs. I'm trying to think of what other games I know come out this year. Oh wait, I said it was whatever. I passed where I said I was gonna leave it on because I was thinking. It's like, obviously, Tears of the Kingdom came out today. That's pretty cool. Mine's still not here yet. Freaking FedEx. Or Best Buy, or whoever's to blame for it not being here yet. Probably not Best Buy, because the Amiibo came through UPS. That showed up on time. So I bet it's FedEx. Freaking FedEx. Not that I've had a history of problems with FedEx. But UPS showed up on time. What's FedEx doing? Was he out to lunch? I mean, you know, delivery people gotta eat lunch too, but like, come on. It was a long lunch. And I know Pikmin 4, miraculously, is actually coming out, and it's coming out this year. And that's like July, August. I can't think of anything else that comes out this year that isn't already out. Like Metroid Prime Remake, that's pretty cool. Came out. Guess we'll have to wait for... I want to say E3, but like... E3's no more. Like, I don't even think they're throwing the event anymore. Because no one's showing up to it. Because they realize, like, oh, hey, we could just throw our own streaming events, like, whenever we want. We don't have to wait for this E3 event. And then there's, like, Summer Games Fest that's just, like, E3 but better, which I don't really understand that, but, you know, I don't have to. Okay, where's my, Okay, this is the bucket most adjacent to the furnace. But yeah, I just have to see what else gets announced. Looks like there's also like there's some other remakes that came out this year. Like Resident Evil 4 remake. That, you know, Resident Evil's not really up my alley. Oh hey, I forgot I have this bucket. But it does look pretty cool. I wouldn't mind giving it a shot sometime. See, this is the problem area. This is the area that's going to take the most buckets of water to clean. Because it's right there in front of the furnace, and there's no other way to get rid of the buckets, so I just have to keep walking over there. Stop leaving footprints. Yeah, so I think right now the thing I'm most excited for is Pikmin 4. And of course, Tears of the Kingdom. To actually get here so I can play it. But that goes without saying. And like, that's all I can think of that's like coming out this year that I'm interested in getting. Or that I'm even aware exists at all. Because like I said, there's like... I know there's more remakes. I don't remember what the remakes were. Because I remember seeing this thing on Reddit of like... I don't even remember what year it was. Like, you know, games around the time Metroid Prime came out. And then like today, which happened to be like the same games. Which is kind of funny. It's like they were all games that released around the same time, getting remakes around the same time. But like Resident Evil 4 is the only one on there I remember. Metroid Prime might have been one of them, so I guess that's 2. I don't remember. There was a 3rd, I don't remember it. Stop leaving footprints. I'm not even walking into the blood. I'm walking next to the blood. I could swear it was not as smoky in here before. Alright, that bucket's done. Stop that. Oh, it wasn't done. Okay, cool. But I bet it's done now. Oh, that's a piece of viscera. Gotta get you out of the way before you start making more blood. I should also take down that basket of body parts that the machine kept spitting out. And this bucket. Start taking out my buckets of water. Oops. There's a spot of blood on the wall I missed. Forgot to take this one. Oh. Yeah, how about I just, let that sit in there for a bit. The buckets didn't want to disappear. Buckets of ducats. And those buckets, I'll take them out later. I started playing Legends Arceus a little bit before starting the stream. Which I only got to do like 20 minutes, so I only did like, you know, that tutorial catching Pokemon section. Eyebrow, stop itching. So I can't really say I've played it yet. It hasn't really gotten to the meat of the game yet. But it's already kind of exciting, like, oh, this is the game that people say is better than Scarlet and Violet. So, you know, that's exciting. Exciting to see the mechanics that people liked that they were disappointed weren't also in Scarlet and Violet. Which is something that definitely makes me excited to see what the next Pokemon game is like. Like, I hope it takes a while for us to get a new Pokemon, just so it can be, you know, they can take their time with it and make it really, really good and polished. And not have another Scarlet and Violet situation where it's like, well, it's a good game underneath, but there's a lot of issues. Which seem to be inconsistent issues, which is the thing that is really weird to me. Like, there's, you know, some people have some issues, and it's like, oh, you do this to fix it. But it doesn't fix it for everyone. It's like, I think the issues go farther down than just like, oh, the Pokemon Company screwed up. Or Game Freak, or whoever is the actual people responsible for making the game. Because I think Pokemon Company just owns the rights to Pokemon. They don't make the games. Game Freak makes the games. And they, you know, contract other game companies to make games. You know, spin-offs and stuff. Excuse me. And I think I've said this before, but apparently, you know, so the thing people have said before is like, oh, Pokemon's not going to escape the Pokemon cycle because... Stop that. You know, because they got to keep it in sync with the cards in the anime. But it's currently not in sync. In fact, I think it like... It hasn't been in sync for at least a couple generations. So I'd like to think that that means that because it's so far out of sync now, that they'll give... That's the wrong button. They'll give the games more time to be made so that the cards and anime can catch up. I believe that's what people call copium. But I call it just plain having faith. You know, having hope, being optimistic. This freaking mess that I made for myself. Literally. Yeah, I think the next one is going to be really something. Because now they've got the groundwork for open world Pokemon. So now they're just going to be building on top of it, and also probably bringing in features from Legends Arceus that people liked, that they weren't coordinated enough to have in, Sorry, I don't like my phrasing there, because that makes it sound like, oh, well, they weren't good enough to have their teams coordinated. You know what I mean. Like, they didn't have the people working on Arceus in sync with the people working on Scarlet and Violet. So there's some stuff that's in Arceus that wasn't in Scarlet and Violet just because they were being made at the same time. And, you know, they didn't have time to hear reception to Arceus. So it'd be cool to see, you know, like, will they bring in the catching mechanics from Arceus into the next one? But you know, they could release a game that's just identical to Scarlet. They could do Scarlet and Violet 2, and I would be just as happy. Because I really enjoyed playing Scarlet. And you know, just do it again, but more optimized, you know, less bugs, more polish. I think a lot of people would be happy. You know, I think especially the people who like you know, didn't even give Scarlet and Violet a chance. If they did a sequel that was just the exact same game but a new excuse me, a new story, and you know they fix all the bugs, I think those people, you know, the people who skipped on Scarlet and Violet initially would be especially happy because they didn't get to experience the good game that's underneath all the bugs. So I'm sure, you know, people who were disappointed would be very blown away to experience the good, because it is some pretty good goods. You know, I was very satisfied with my starter choice the moment I started walking around. It was like, hey, look, your starter is out and is following you. You know, when you get to that point where, which, you know, is basically after you get your starter, that you just get to walk around. It's like, hey, look, there's my starter right there, my little Sprigatito, just walking around. It's at you know, it's to scale, so I get to see how small a Sprigatito actually is. It's like, wow, that is really something. And then, you know, you get to see as it evolves, you get to actually physically see it get bigger. Oh yeah, I still gotta get the ash off of this wall and ceiling. Get out of my way, boxes. The irony is, I think I made them even more in my way when I come back for the small stuff. Alright, so I think about here is where I'm continuing where I left off. Excuse me, from when my bucket filled up. Alright, I think I need to take a quick break. I was gonna say real quick. A quick break real quick. Redundant. Okay, we're good. We're good. Where's my mop? Where's my bucket? Is my bucket clean? Okay. Well, I'd like to be able to clean up these fissures, but I guess the repair team is a different team. You know, that's not my division. My division is to mop the floors, not repair them. Okay, doing good. I think I've almost got the whole down here area mopped up. Might be some harder to reach areas, I can't really tell. So I'm just looking at my mouse pad, see if it's like, is it in a comfortable position? I can't really. It doesn't feel right. No, it's in a good position. I'd like to get a bigger mouse pad, so I don't have to worry as much about its positioning. Maybe one that's a little softer. I don't know if that's a thing. Soft mouse pads. I know they got ones with wrist rests. I guess that's probably about as good as I'm gonna get. But it sounds like it would intrude on mouse use. That's a word that has funny mouthfeel. Or phrase. Mouse use. Man, these vents remind me of the vents that you can go through in Dishonored if you use, like, Possession or Shadow Form. But they're not that kind of vent. They're just decoration. So I guess if I got the whole downstairs area mopped, then it's time to make sure I got up here mopped. And what better to do with mopping than my mop? I don't know why I felt compelled to say that. So I finished editing ARMS today, my ARMS Let's Play. So that'll be able to go up on time. My plan was to render it while I play Tears of the Kingdom, but it's not exactly working out like that. Are you a computer screen? I guess you're a computer. Should put you back on your desk. I think I knocked something else over trying to put this down. Maybe that was just a chair. I think I had some pretty alright commentary in my ARMS Let's Play. Not great, but you know, pretty decent for also playing a fighting game at the same time. You know, like commentating over this is pretty easy because, you know, it's not too distracting. I'm just looking around for blood to mop up. It's easy to, you know, if I need to stop and complete a train of thought, I can stop. Can't really do that in a fighting game. Not while you're also trying to actively avoid being hit and also landing hits. But I like to think I did pretty good. Especially because I was able to play on the highest difficulty and still decently maintain my trains of thought. And also not lose too frequently. I definitely lost more frequently while on 7 because of talking. But not so much that it's like, yeah, obviously I can't play on 7 and talk at the same time. What's this filing cabinet made out of? Marble? No, get in the... There. Now move against the other filing cabinets. I'm pretty sure there's more blood over here, yeah. Well, at least I'll be able to get all the mopping done tonight. That'd be cool. It's a lot of trash strewn about, too, so... Again, no wonder they call this one that will take 3 hours. Oh no, I missed a body! A body has been discovered. Which means there's going to be a lot of blood. I'm gonna have to mop again! Okay, let me take this down as carefully as I can. And not smash it against it. I think that's... Never mind. I was gonna say, I think smashing it against stuff is what makes it leave blood. Nope, apparently just touching things makes it leave blood too. Do I still have buckets strewn about? Yeah, I still got buckets in the way. Ah! No! Stop leaving blood! Stupid body. At least my mop is pretty recently washed. So I should be able to get a good deal of the blood on the way back. So it doesn't leave thick trails of blood. Just splotches. Wow, I could have tripped over this dirty bucket. I'm amazed I didn't. Alright, well, that's pretty decently recovered. Recovered from that pretty well. There. It's like it never happened. Alright, I really ought to take out these dirty buckets. Especially if I'm starting to get close to done mopping. I'm trying to be careful to see more. If I missed any spots from bringing that corpse down. What's going on behind this door? Sure does sound funny. I bet I missed a spot on the stairs. I mean, I guess I do have the dirt detector, but I never did figure out how it works. I never did figure out, like, what it's trying to tell me. I like how some of the graffiti is more elaborate than others. Like, some of it is, like, legitimately, like, street art. And then some of it is just, like, they took a can of spray paint and spray painted words. Bob will free us! Who's Bob? What is that? I guess the fissure texture is being applied to the railing. I'm pretty sure I can't clean that. I would like to. That'd be cool. I'm gonna clean up the spray paint too, but I'm pretty sure I don't have that as a tool. More dirty buckets. You know, I'll start leaving a pile because there's gonna be more. Maybe I shouldn't put them directly in front of the door because I'm not fully done mopping. There's still at least with that one room still left to do. I think this level has like 2 ladders. I don't think I need either of them. I mean, they're probably just there as props to illustrate that this is Viscera Cleanup Detail HQ. And that bucket is now dirty. Your heads would look nice in my trunk. I think I have to clean that case too. Oh, forgot about the bucket. Nope, it's just a dirty case. I can go through the window. All right, so I think that's it for the buckets. I'll leave that clean mostly clean bucket around just in case. Excuse me. Because the basket machine is also capable of dropping viscera. That was the machine I used the first time it happened to me. You know, I wonder if I could leave the buckets around and have them not count as part of the dirtiness of the level. That sounds right. But I can throw them in the furnace, so I feel like they probably expect me to do that. Oh, right. Bucket's over here. Oh, this one's not completely dirty. I think I could get one more mopping out of it. I was going to close the furnace. I was like, no, wait, I still need that. That's how I dispose of everything. Alright, time to put a bunch of small things in a basket and start taking the basket down the furnace. I feel like I should take the signs on their own go, considering how well that went last time. I'm going to take this basket down first. Just in case it starts to leave blood because of the viscera. It doesn't seem to be. Which would be good. Now this is the part that I feel like is entirely... Like, the efficiency is entirely up to how well the physics engine handles me putting a bunch of bullet casings in the same basket. Which it probably will not like. It doesn't even like me putting this one shard of glass in the bucket alone. Or the basket. Oops, that's not the rotate button. Boop. Get in there. Thankfully, I don't actually grab the things that I grab. I just use my 2-foot telekinesis to grab it. Any more glass? Glass, hello? Yeah, there you are. It's a lot of glass. It's where it would be nice to just break it up into smaller pieces and vacuum it. But I don't have a vacuum. Well, even just breaking it up into smaller pieces to put in the basket easier would be nice. Oh. Oh, I only dropped one shard. How much glass do you think I can put in this basket before physics start to go insane? So I'm not sure how easy a problem that is to fix is, like, you know, having a bunch of physics-based objects stacked against each other, and as one pushes another around, it starts to vibrate, and it makes everything else go crazy. Like, that's the issue with these baskets, is that starts to happen. But provided that doesn't happen with these shards of glass, I think I can make a pretty efficient trip with this. All right, let me start putting in more small shards. I'm trying to make it as efficient a trip as possible. But I'm starting to feel like I'm reaching my limit here on what these baskets can carry. It actually is physically hitting its limit, I can see, so... Or maybe not. Well, alright, here we go. The Great Glass Carrying Adventure. Nope, there it goes. Starting to glitch out the basket. Wait, no, it's fine. I won't basket you then. No, not the... No! I grabbed the shard, not the basket. Yeah, fine. You can stay out too. So far, so good. Alright. I guess I'll get a second basket for all the ones I dropped. Pick up bullets on the way there. Alright, there's one. I don't know what happened there. I suddenly couldn't move forward. Oh, you're a water bottle. You're not a shard of glass. Well, fine. And the bullet, as promised. Did that miss? Depth perception is a little tricky here. Alright. I'm just going to pick up the ones that are down here. You know, on the way. I feel like that makes more sense. I think these baskets might work better if there was, like, a way to tell the physics system to just merge the objects into one object at a certain point. Because, like, obviously they're not on contact, because then the basket would just be sticky. And that wouldn't be helpful. Maybe make it where, like, once you grab the basket, everything inside sticks to it and becomes one object instead of being still bound to physics. Because then you could fill it up as much as you think it can go. And then... Let me set this... Oh, I can pick this up, apparently. Oh, and I keep it. Alright, then. I'll have to see what I can sweep. Yeah, you just set it all in. And then when you grab it, it all sticks and becomes one object. So that you don't have things rattling around as you carry it to the furnace. Yeah, I like to think that was a pretty efficient basket trip. You know, despite being the trip of me sweeping up what I missed from the first trip. And I've still got more glass to carry. But I feel like that was a pretty good trip. I can get a second broom. No, I can't. No, not bucket. Basket. I can't figure out the rolling to these. So, you know something I've been thinking about lately? Like, I feel like around the time I grew up, like early 2000s, there was like this increasing prevalence of like... I'm trying to figure out how to describe the aesthetic. But like... I don't know, things started to... Yeah, I can't think of how to describe it. Like Bionicle. Alright? There's like... Maybe not the whole series, because I guess Bionicle has always been about multiple environments that all the TotK come from. You know, snowy mountains and jungles and stuff. But like this, like ancient temple aesthetic, I feel like started to become kind of prevalent in the early 2000s. Oh yeah, let me just pat that piece of glass. That's nice. Don't worry, piece of glass. I'll get you to the furnace safely. Because, like, Zevaz has that kind of ancient temple theming kind of thing going on, too. And looking at it does make me think of like, oh yeah, you know, this feels similar to what Bionicle was doing. And I'm also thinking of like how like Jak and Daxter kind of had some of that going on too. Like Jak 1. And there's also this like kind of tropical jungle kind of aesthetic too. Like I think Star Fox Adventures has a level like that, where you know like the vegetation is kind of lush, but then there's like an abundance of like water, maybe some beachy sands, but not being strictly a beach. It's like I wish I knew how to better describe these aesthetics because I like them. Kind of wish they would come back to prevalence. But, you know, I don't even know what I would call... Like, what is the dominant aesthetic right now? I don't think there is one. The dominant aesthetic is nostalgia, I guess. You know, there definitely are a lot of games selling themselves on like, oh, look, retro 16-bit graphics. Look at this game. It looks just like a PlayStation 1 game. And that's cool. It's definitely a style. All right, this is not working. I have to come back for another. But, you know, it's not a style that personally gets me excited. You know, saying you have pixel art graphics is not a selling point. It's just a statement. It's a statement of a fact, not a bullet point that helps you distinguish it from another game. Because, like, I could say, oh, yeah, this game looks like it was made on the Super Nintendo. And, like, what game pops in your mind, you know? Could be Shovel Knight, could be Celeste. Could be, a third thing I was thinking of that I forgot. It really doesn't narrow the category anymore. It's like it's almost as helpful as the term Metroidvania. I should say that in a joking voice, because I feel like it's not a very descriptive genre title. Which sorry, smack the mic trying to adjust my watch. I think the problem with that, with the term Metroidvania, is that it treats Metroid and Castlevania like they're identical games, but they're not. They have similar progression systems, but that's it. So you have Metroidvania that run the, you know, it's more of a spectrum, you know, whether it's more like Castlevania or more like Metroid. Because Metroid is very much not like Castlevania. You know, Metroid Dread and Bloodstained are two entirely different games with entirely different pacing and flow. And to me, I think part of the problem is, like, I think too many games think of being a Metroidvania as, like, lock and key kind of systems. Like, they think of the powers as just something that gets you further in the level or further in the world. You know, something that just unlocks another part of the world. Rather than a fun power that you also use whenever you're just, you know, not faced with a hazard specifically. You know, I think of, like, Metroid as having the high jump and the screw attack and the space jump. And Viscera. Cool. Time to do more mopping. I love it. Thank you, game. I wish that was a rule you could toggle off. So yeah, I think of Metroid as giving you power-ups that are just universally good, not just something that gets you up onto some ledge somewhere. Whereas Castlevania, I don't think really does that, or at least like the Aria of Sorrow type games, which is really the only Castlevania I would say I'm familiar with. Is let me make sure my mop is clean. You know, you have to go into a menu and equip powers to be able to do certain things. And that just, to me, that's just way more clunky than a Metroid game. It really shouldn't be lumped under the same category. Like, it's more like a 2D Zelda game in that case. If you have to pause and open a menu to get out your double jump or whatever. I mean, I guess Bloodstain did eventually get an update that lets you have loadouts, which helps, but it's still like you gotta stop and equip it. And it's like Metroid never makes you do that. Get in there. I'm trying to think of other like Metroidvanias I've experienced. Oh yeah, Hollow Knight. That's a perfect example because the only thing you have to pause and equip are your charms. Everything else is an additional ability that you get that you can just do whenever. You know? Like, I think some games forget about the fact that controllers have buttons. They have multiple buttons. So instead of just having one button for use power, you can have multiple powers at the ready at any given moment. You can even have a button that you hold the button and then press another button and it does something different. I call that the Assassin's Creed style button usage. You know, like how Assassin's Creed, at least for like the first two or three games. Well, I say that thinking of Assassin's Creed 1, Assassin's Creed 2, and Assassin's Creed 3, not of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood and Assassin's Creed Revelations. But still, like, the first... Ah! Okay, fine, I'll come back for it. You know, the first few Assassin's Creeds had high profile, low profile, so you would hold the shoulder button, and now your action would become high profile. So something like... What was the button in low profile? So like low profile attack would be assassinate, whereas high profile attack would just be attack. You know, it would be a very obvious assault on someone. Whoop. Nope. Don't push me down the stairs box. It's like you could do something like that for a power system, you know? Like A button can be jump, but then you hold a shoulder button and press A, and now it's teleport or something, you know? I think some games just maybe don't realize that you don't exactly have to build your game around menus anymore. People have figured out more intuitive ways to have all your abilities at the ready, then pausing and going into your magic menu and equipping Fireball. But then, oh no, now I need Lightning Bolt. So now I have to pause and go into my magic menu and put on Lightning Bolt. I guess I say that like I think I've played all the Metroidvanias ever, and no, I definitely have not. Have you been getting shoved around? I don't think you would like that before. Alright, time to get another basket. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna go for. Maybe I'll clean up the entire downstairs. In which case I will need multiple baskets. But since I'm going to have to make a trip back up to get, you know, to bring down another basket anyway, I'll just put as much as I can in this one basket. You know, they say not to put all your eggs in one basket, but I don't know why they say that, because that's just an efficient way of carrying around your eggs. Do I really have to clean these tables? I'm pretty sure this is a vial of acid. I'm not touching that. I feel like I'm cleaning up after a house party. Well, these... Well, all these, I say, as if there's a ton of them. You know, the cans and bottles and stuff. You know, crumpled up pieces of paper. Because, you know, people just love to play trash can basketball at parties. That's my go-to party skill. Just gonna bring the basket out. Oh, and I gotta say, thank goodness for Google Chrome extensions that allow you to block phrases in YouTube video titles, so you don't see them. Like, that's just such a great thing to have when a new game comes out and you don't have it yet. Oh, the bottle broke. In the basket, that's probably not good. Jack Jones, no! How much is left down here? Some food containers, some chips, some bottles, some bullet casings. I'll do one more basket. I have a slow walk button. I do not appear to have a run button. I guess I'm getting paid by now and then. Alright, I think I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching. Hopefully Monday will be Tears of the Kingdom. Because that's when it says it's going to be here. Bye.